This video lesson is for levels of classification for Biology 11. Down the left-hand side, I have listed all of the levels of classification in their correct order, starting with the biggest, which is the kingdom. In this example, we are showing kingdom Animalia, which is all our animals, including the invertebrates. As I move down one level, the example turns to phylum Chordata, so these will have a backbone. The C star here does not make it down to phylum Chordata because it is an invertebrate. It has no backbone. As we go down one more row after phylum, we get to class. And in this case, we're talking about the mammals. And in this case, our snake does not make it because our snake is not a mammal. Moving down again, we go to order, and this is the carnivores. And our little squirrel, he's a herbivore, so he does not make it into the carnivore family. And as you can see, the variety of animals is getting more and more specific. Moving down to the family, we get to Ursidae. This is basically the bear family. So our fox here did not make it into that next level. Then we have genus, which is our most specific types of bears. The Ursus genus is the bears, and the species, Ursus arctos, which in this case I believe is our grizzly bear. Species is the most specific level and should eliminate everything down to one animal that can be an interbreeding species with each other. If it breeds with a different species, they are considered different species if the offspring cannot produce their own viable offspring. For the next piece, you are going to get a piece of yellow cardstock that has this worksheet on it and a whiteboard and markers, and please don't write on my page. When you've got your piece of cardstock, make sure you are on classification side 1 when we begin. You can pause the video here if you need to collect materials. Okay, to begin this, it helps if we can take a look at questions first. It's easiest if we can explain using the information there. So our first question asks me, which organisms are most closely related? How can you tell? What you want to do is read down from kingdom and go down and see who has the most levels that are the same. So I'm going to do this with my highlighter, and I can see that I have lots of animals. I have a couple of chordates. I have 2 mammals, and after that level, I don't have any more the same. So my 2 most closely related are my human and my cat. They have the most levels that are the same. Which is least like the rest? You want to find your highest level that's something different. So in this case, right there, I've got my dandelion. And the reason that the dandelion is it is a different kingdom entirely. Okay, my next question says, monkeys are in the order primates. What class are they? But there is no monkey up here on my list to compare to. But I do have the information that the monkey is in the order primate. So over here I'm going to put primate. And everything above it will be the same if I can find another primate in my examples. So if I look through here, I see primate right there, which means that these 3 levels here above are going to be the same for the monkey. So if my order is primate, I can find primates here and find out that its class is Mammalia. So I can read up in order, I can read up the column to the least specific, but I can't actually read down the column to more specific. So if you have 2 things the same, everything above them is also the same. The next one, what is the family name for lions and tigers? I don't have any lions and tigers, but I have a cat. So I can go through and find out that the cat family is Felidae. So to find that, I used the cat as an example. And I discover an insect from class Insecta. What phylum is it? So I want to look through here, find an insect, and again I can read up and find out that all insects belong in the phylum Arthropoda. Okay, now you can turn over to class levels of classification 2, which is on the back of your chart. And on this one, you can see that I have not filled in some of the information, and in order for you to answer this, you're going to have to compare it to ones that are similar. So, what family is the grizzly bear? So if I go to my grizzly bear, I can see that family here is not filled in for me. So I'm going to have to find some other things that are the same for the grizzly bear. So if I do a little looking, I can see that I've got a couple of genus Ursus. So those are all going to be the same, which means their family, Ursidae, will be the same for all of these. So I can find out that my bear is in family Ursidae. The next one, which animal is most closely related to the dog? If I go down here, I can see that my dog and the wolf are both genus Canidae. So the answer will be wolf. And the reason is that they are in the same genus. Okay, I would like you to pause the video here and see if you can come up with the answers to the other ones before we give them to you. Now that you've had some time on the other ones, we'll go through them. This question would like to know what class is the polar bear. So if I read down my polar bear, I can see that I do not have the class for the polar bear, but I do know that bears are all Ursus, so if I follow along here, I can get to carnivores, and if I follow over here, I can find that carnivores are class Mammalia, so my polar bear will be in class Mammalia. Okay, what order is the red panda? In this case, I think this one is just a reading. Here's my red panda. My order is Herbivora, so that is just a reading the chart. Next one, what phylum is the giant panda? So once again, I can go through and I can find out that my giant panda is in the Ursidae family. I don't know what phylum, so now I have to go find another Ursidae. I think what I'll do is change color of my giant panda here to pink so we can follow it. So I'm looking there. I can find a pink here. Okay, and that is going to be my brown bear, which is also a carnivore, and I can find out then that it will be phylum Chordata. Because from my brown bear, I know that these three are the same for the carnivore, and this is a carnivore, so it will also be a Chordata. Can I determine the genus of the red panda? Here's my red panda. Genus is down here, and the answer is no. You cannot read down the chart to be more specific. So you can move up the chart because it's less specific, but you can't move down the chart. And the last question, is the giant panda more closely related to the raccoon or the red panda? So I'm going to look at my giant panda, and I can see that it's a carnivore, and the raccoon is also a carnivore, but the red panda is a herbivore, so it's actually more closely related to the raccoon. And the reason is that they are in the same order. And that is how you read a chart for levels of classification. Remember when you get a question on this that there has to be information given to you in a chart about the animals they're asking, and that you're not expected to try to memorize the classification for different animals in Biology 11.